All right, here we go. SAT percent test number 1. I'm going to go rather quickly, so you can pause or slow it down if you need to. All right, percent change formula is the amount of change divided by the original. Now, there's other ways to do it, but this is the one we probably did the most. So the change was 3, and we're comparing it to what it used to be. So we're comparing it to 88. So the correct answer there, 0.03. Probably didn't come out exactly, but that's where you round it. And we increased because it went up. Same idea, number 2. So the change, 46 minus 27, that's 19. Compared to what it used to be, 27. Must have came out to somewhere close to 0.70 when you put it in the calculator. And again, it was an increase. All right, 3 and 4, so we're still doing some basics. 2 ways to set it up. If you want to use the percent proportion, I don't usually do it this way, but you can. You put your percent over 100, and then your is and your of go here. So if you're doing it this way, you could do, we don't know the is, we do know the of, and we do know the percent, and now you could just cross multiply if you'd like. Another way to do it is when you want to find the percent of a number, you can just change it to a decimal. So that's how you find 86% of 75.8 equals, and it's going to have to ballpark this. Looks like the only one that makes sense is A, 65.2. Number 4, what percent? So if you like the proportion, the X will go in the percent slot. Out of, that's the total. Is the part. And you can cross multiply and solve. I would probably just pretend it was like a test. If I got a 22 out of 132, it'd be pretty bad. But if I did that, looks like the only answer in the ballpark is somewhere around 0.167. Move the decimal 2 places. Boom, 16.7%. Number 5, number 6, a couple more. Got a word problem, it looks like, over here too. Let's see if I can get this little dude out of my way. Guess not. All right, so number 5, 17% of what? So 17% of what is 75? Cross multiply. If you want to do it the equation way, 0.17 times what is 75? So I would divide both sides by 0.17. Looks like this is the only number that makes any sense. 31. This is, I bet half the class missed this one. And this is just a fundamental issue that needs to be addressed. But, you know, the original idea is you have an original amount. We don't know what it is. Okay, or sometimes we do know what it is. Then something happens to it. Now, it's 1 plus the percentage. When you have any sort of an increase, you have tax, you have a markup. These are all words that mean I'm going to add a percent. And then I end up with some final. And then similarly, I could have an original price. And then I do 1 minus the percent equals a final price when we have some sort of a discount or a decrease. So you got to kind of look for these keywords. So for this particular problem, the issue is, where's the 3150? Was that before or after? And it says it costs after. So it's got to go with the back side. It's got to go over here. So we don't know the original. Since this is tax, this is 1 plus 0.06. So I'm going to have 1.06. And now it just becomes a division problem. And the correct answer for this was 3,000. So this was not a multiple choice. Now, here's what you guys are trying to do, though. So a lot of you guys try to solve this problem by taking 6% away from that number. Let me show you why it doesn't work. Let's say you start with some crap here, some original. And then you're going to add 6% of this original number. Well, that ends up being a bigger piece of crap, some bigger number. And what you guys are trying to do, you're somehow trying to subtract 6% of this to get backwards and get to here. But 6% of a small number and 6% of a bigger number aren't the same thing. So you never get back to your original. You get close, but you don't get back to the exact same amount. So that's why that doesn't work. And some of you guys missed, I think, 3 or 4 problems kind of because of the same concept. So hopefully we can get that squared away next time. Pair of jeans, original was 40 bones, so that's in the beginning. 30% off, that's a 1 minus 0.30. So I'm going to slap 0.70 in right there. Then I get to take another 45% off. So now I have a 1 minus 45. So I'm going to put a 0.55 here. That's discount number 2. No tax, so I think we can just roll with it. We can just get our final answer. Looks like I got to do this one. 40.7 times 0.55 equal $15.40 out the door. Now, what you cannot do, you can't be like, oh man, there was 30% off, and then they did another 45% off, so that means there's 75% off. You can't do that and just try to get away with it once, because after you take the 30% off, the 45% is on a new number. It's not on the same number. That's why you can't double them up and try to super shortcut it. All right, next one, number 8. DVD movie cost $21.60 after, put it at the back. $21.60 at the end. 8% tax, that's an increase, 1.08. Original price, I don't know. Divide. It's the only way to get this one. Boom, $20. All right, let's keep going. Number 9, number 10. Bust this out. Price of milk has risen. That's an increase in the last 6 years. The price used to be, back in the day, $2.49. What is it now? Well, this one's just straight up multiplying. 249 times 1.25. $3.11. It's actually a little cheaper than that, but we'll go with it. The number of students at MHS has decreased. Keywords, decreased. That means subtraction. So I'm going to have a 0.80 in this equation. We now have 760. That's at the end. How many did we used to have? Don't know. Divide by 0.80. Divide by 0.80. 760 divided by 0.8 equals 950. Next, 1112. Max transfers 15% of his pay. So I know how to find that. 15% times his pay. That's how you find the percentage of a total. Into the savings account. If he makes $4,100 per month, how much are you saving a year? Well, let's just figure out the month first. Let's break it down. So he makes $4,100 a month, a little over $1,000 a week. 15% of that $4,100 is, what is it? Well, 10% is $410 plus half of that is $205. So $615. So old boy's saving $16 every single month. Okay. Now, how much is he going to save in a year? Well, you just multiply that number by 12. So 6150 plus another 1230, 7380. $7,380 for the year. Next, Mr. Davis went to the restaurant, only left a 15% tip. You ought to give him a hard time about that. He should be leaving 20. So he paid $92 total, including the tip. So at the end, out the door, 92 bones. Tip is a plus problem. We're adding to the bill. So this is going to be a 1.15. And we don't know what the price of the meal was. So we got to work backwards. So divide. cheat on this one. 92 divided by 1.15, $80. So the bill was 80 bucks. No tax. He must have been in Florida or Montana or something. One of those states don't have a sales tax. I think Montana doesn't. All right, number 13. Group of 4 people spends $110 on dinner and gives the server a 20% tip. Now we're talking. 20% tip. How much is each person going to pay? Well, let's do the total bill. So we spend $110 on dinner. 20% tip is 1 plus 0.20. So 10% is $11, double that, so $22. So that comes out to be 132 bucks. That's the total. And then we got to divvy that up between 4 people. Goes in there 3 left over. So $33 each. Number 14, a shirt is 80 bucks. Expensive shirt. Discounted 30. 1 minus 0.30. Then nobody bought it. Discounted another 40. Second discount. Somebody finally bought it, but then they got to pay tax. So this is a 1 plus 0.06. How much is it now? Originally it was 80 bucks. So let's clean this up a little bit. 80 times 0.7, that's $56. $56 times 0.6, I think it's 50. I don't know, I'm going to have to cheat on this one. It's getting away from me. 80 times 0.7 times 0.6 times 1.06 equals 35616. So we're talking money. We got to go up. 35.62. Bam. What's next? 15.16. We have 857. 5 years ago, we had 1100. So this is percent change. So I'm going to find how much did we change. And then this is the key part. You've got to divide it by the original, or what it used to be. So we had 1100. So the 1100 goes on the bottom. It looks like we've changed 243. So 243 divided by 1100. 0.22, aka 22% decrease. 16, looks long. Survey a random sample first hour class. How many students are leaving Michigan for spring break? Of the 34 kids, you find 23% are leaving Michigan for spring break. Based on this information, how many students would you expect in the entire school? So the 34 doesn't really matter. It's just saying we did a small survey and we're trying to apply it to a larger population. Hopefully it was randomly assigned, so it's valid. But I think we just got to find what's 23% of 800. Probably do this in your head. 25% is a quarter. A quarter of 800 is 200. So what number is close to 200? Oh, looks like I'm going to make you do the math. So 0.23 times 800. 0.23 times 800. 184. C. Next. 1718, last two. Let's bust this out. Electric bill was. Keyword was. Thank you. What it is now. It is 7814. So nearest tenth of percent. What did it change? So we got to figure out the amount of change. So 7814. Take away 6542. All right. Now let's cheat. 7814 minus 6542. So it looks like the bill's changed by $12.72. And I got to put what it used to be. It was. So this is my bottom number, what it used to be. Let's bust that out. Divided by 6542. 0.194. So we're going to call that 19. Looks like we're supposed to go the nearest tenth. So right there is good enough. Number 18, 2005 to 2010. Increase 17%. That's 1 plus 0.17. There's your increase. 125,000 is at the later date, so it's happened over here. What did it used to be? So we got to divide by 1.17, divide by 1.17, 125, divided by 1.17. It looks like 10683 right here. Correct answer is A. And we're done. See ya.